I'm going to say something to you that might be challenging to hear, but it's true. And you might not be ready to hear it now, but I hope one day you can open up to it. Life is not about striving for survival. Life is not about striving to survive. You're supposed to be thriving. Like it's the bar that you are socializing to believing is the height of your existence is the bar is in hell. That's why even when it looks like you're doing well, you feel stuck. You feel like you're not living up to your potential. You feel like you're living the wrong life because you're building a life based on survival. Your life's aspirations should be way higher than they are right now. Not as some status game, some show of power, but because it's what you deserve. You are here for one life, and it should be the best life you can lead. And once you allow yourself to pursue that, I promise you, even the hard days will feel so much more lighter. I believe in you.
I need you to stop showing up in spaces small so that other people can feel seen. A very well-established client of mine said to me last week, he said, Dr. Zeb, sometimes when I show up in spaces, environments, even in relationships, friendships, I feel like I'm out of place. I said, have you ever seen a Maserati on a Kia lot? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because it doesn't belong. I said, exactly. And it is very common to confuse meekness with false humility, because they look alike. But I've learned in the past that sometimes when I've showed up in spaces, quiet, small, reserved, trying to come across as humble, I was really being fake because I wasn't being sincere. In a climate where everybody thinks they should get a trophy, everybody thinks they should be awarded, everybody thinks they should be recognized, the best thing you can do is show up as yourself, even if it makes everybody else uncomfortable. Because if a Maserati does not belong on a Kia lot, you should not show up in spaces being anything but who you are. You've got two jobs. One, be better today than what you were yesterday. And two, don't forget what I told you.
Stop playing small. Like, in all honesty, stop playing small. Stop watering yourself down. Stop shrinking to fit other people's point of views, opinions, perspectives. Honestly, we don't care about those. Stop tiptoeing around your talents, your dreams, your action plans that you know you need to be working on. Like, just stop. Don't be a tiptoeer.
If you have a feeling that you're playing small and you just don't know how to get out of the rut, follow this 3-step method. To overcome any issue, we must first figure out why we're having it in the first place. Most people play small because they're afraid of judgment or failure. They're afraid what will happen if they do succeed and they lose it, or they've set a goal that they think they should have that they don't really believe in. Whatever it is for you, figure it out. Usually something happened when you were younger that created this story that's causing you now to play small. Perhaps you were embarrassed by something, you saw parental figures make a lot of money and lose it all, or your parents always told you to play it safe. Gotta get to the root of your limiting beliefs so now you can rewrite the narrative. Acknowledge your fears, forgive yourself for the lack of action you've taken up until now, and now write new empowering beliefs to support your goals. Then it's time to start taking the actions you've been procrastinating. It won't feel comfortable at first, but don't confuse this with it being the wrong action. It's going to feel uncomfortable simply because it's new. Soon it will become your new normal. You only have one life at the end of the day, so sticking with it and overcoming your self-sabotage is one of the best things you can do.
One of the best pieces of life advice that I ever got from my mentor is to have the audacity to ask for a better salary, have the audacity to leave the job that makes you miserable, have the audacity to leave the relationship that is not fulfilling, that is not rewarding, that is not giving you anything in this life. And growing up in an immigrant household, we're really taught to be grateful for what we have, and I think that's a very beautiful way to live, but that can limit us in many opportunities, in many aspects of our life. So it's important to push for what you know you want in this life. And every time that my parents gave me advice that I thought was limiting, I just knew that I couldn't listen to it, not out of disrespect for my parents, but out of appreciation for what I wanted and what I knew I was capable of having audacity. So I want you to ask yourself, what is one aspect in your life where you can push yourself to have the audacity to push for what you truly know you are capable of achieving and getting in this life, because this life is yours.
Don't start playing small, okay? Don't. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. God took his precious time to create you. So take up space in this life, okay? Whenever you have a moment of insecurity, feeling like you're not worth it, like you don't deserve, remember whose you are. God took his time to create you. You are perfect in his sight. Okay? Don't water yourself down. Do not water yourself down. Hold your head up high. Have your posture in the right. And own it. Okay? Own it. That's all I'm saying. Your personality, the way you do things, the way you move, that's unique to you. So own it. Like, don't let anybody make you feel bad for being you. That's it.
This is your reminder and mine. Stop playing small, especially women playing small. Somebody gives you a compliment, you're like, oh, stop, thank you. Instead of being like, thank you so much. You know, imagine you give me a compliment. Okay, go ahead, let's role play. Thank you. Versus, thank you. You see like the difference in energy? It just screams confidence versus like, I'm not used to getting compliments. Look, I have a black bra on, okay? And somebody says, you have a black bra on. I wouldn't be like, oh, wow, I do? I'd be like, I do. There's a knowing versus a shock. Why are you acting like you don't know about yourself? Why are you acting like you don't know you fine as hell?
Let me tell you that anytime I made myself small to make somebody around me feel comfortable, they still ended up hurting me in the long run. And so then I got hurt twice. Was it ever worth it? No. If you're considering making yourself smaller because you think it's going to help your relationships thrive, it's actually just going to ruin them in the long run. You don't want to be in relationships with people who require a smaller version of you.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned in 2024 is that nobody benefits from you playing small. Not you, not the people you care about, not your community, not your career, not your bank account, not your mental health, not your emotional well-being, not your physical health. Absolutely nothing benefits from you playing small. You're doing yourself the greatest disservice in the world when you continue to look down on yourself, discourage yourself from going for big things, keep on believing that you'll never reach or you don't deserve big things. The smaller you play, the more unhappy you're going to be. The smaller your happiness, the smaller your bank account, the smaller your relationships, the smaller your experience, the smaller your thinking, the smaller your existence. There's absolutely nothing at all to be benefited from you playing small. So my desire, my prayer for you is for 2025, for you to unleash, for you for the first time in your life to experience the best and the greatest parts of who you are. Greatest of your mind, greatest of your thinking, greatest of your dreams, greatest of your career, the greatest of everything that has to do with your life. Like, I think every one of us owe ourselves that at least at one point in our lives, to completely unleashed, unhinged from insecurities, unhinged from fears, anxieties, unhinged from trauma, unhinged from the past, unhinged from every single thing that continues to make us feel like we can never be more than what we have been. All the best for 2025. I hope that we're going to be blessed by you allowing yourself to dream bigger and to be bigger than you've been so far.
Man, so many people do this. I used to do it when I was younger. I'd say it lasted till I was early 20s or something. Playing small. Gotta play small. Why? Why did I do it, and why did most people do it? The reason I did it, mostly, was because I made people uncomfortable all the time without realizing it, or without trying to. I made videos about that. And when my energy was up, when I was, I was hitting it, they'd get uncomfortable. And it like sucked. I'm wanting to share. It's natural to want to share joy with others and like, let's be joyous, not in superficial way. Yeah, what's joy? Authenticity. If somebody's having a conversation and you're seeing some different angles and you like want to share on those angles, yeah, like that. just authenticity. And then I'd share on these angles, and then they get all, they would like, it would challenge them to look at what they're saying. It's like, oh no, maybe he's breaking it down on another level. Maybe, you know, so they didn't like that. And then they would like criticize me. Like, why do you think weird? I was like, really? That's weird? It feels real natural. So that's just one example, but I learned like, damn, I can't really be spontaneous and just free-spirited, you know, because then people would get uncomfortable. And then especially if you're around a more authoritative people, parents or school teachers or officials or your employer, then you got to really, I learned, well, I got to really be careful now. Get fired over that or whatever. I saw the way that most people perceived me was not, they were not perceiving me in a correct light. I realized that. And so then I tried to modify myself. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but how are you going to do that? See, this is what this is about. This is what the video is about. So I try to play small, but how do you play small when you're not small? How do you do that? And then you pay for it. That's what would happen. I'd pay for it. Inside, I would pay for it. I'd feel it just sucks. I feel like I'm killing my spirit in the name of what? Making bots feel comfortable? It's like they need to feel uncomfortable. This is what I learned later. I'm like, wait, they need to feel uncomfortable. I'm not responsible for how they feel. Not when I'm being honest. Look, but man, there's all, the mind can justify anything. So if somebody is like, they got into an accident and they got a scar on their face, I'm not going to come up, and let's say it doesn't look too good, it's scabby and everything. I'm going to come up and say, damn, that looks like seriously bad. Being honest, no, okay, so I don't think I need to make that example. I think we know. But because part of being honest and authentic, it comes with wisdom, which has tact, which knows, okay, there's certain things like you don't say and you know, it's common sense. But for the most part, you're just flowing. You're in your natural flow. That's important. If you don't do that, you'll end up with cancers or something someday. That inner badness you feel, that I felt when I would compromise, that will eat your body up at some point. And the doctors won't say that's why. It'll say, no, some disease flew in from Alaska and that's why you're sick. The doctors never trace things back to like a metaphysical level or even the level of, I've never heard doctors, unless it's a holistic, a naturopath or something, look at like lifestyle habits or do you beat off every day or, what kind of company you're hanging out with, as though that doesn't have an effect, a huge effect on if your body's going to have elements or not. It's insane. Okay, so that's another subject. That's like True Health channel. So we're talking here, how many people play small? More than not. I tell you that, if people weren't playing small, then those of you that don't feel accepted by society, you wouldn't feel that way. The reason you feel that way is because you're making people uncomfortable because they're playing small, because we're all conditioned to play small because we don't want to like disturb nobody. So everybody's walking around in this fake persona because like they don't want to disturb anybody. And then the mind justifies and calls it, no, we're being polite though, being nice. You see how the mind justifies? You see why self-honesty is a rare thing? Because the mind can sabotage any kind of real introspection. It'll just slap on, some justification or whatever to make it sound like appropriate, So some of you though have escaped this net of like Maya and conditioning, and you're just following the beat to your own drum, and then grace is with you and lets you break things down on a level that most people don't understand. And you're gonna feel more alone in that sense. So people play small because they worry. That was why I did the main thing, is because I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. But a lot of people do it too because they think they have to, that's the only way you can get ahead in life. How can you get ahead in life? Like, I got to play the role. I got to play the game. I got to pretend to be what my employer wants me to be, so then I can get the raise, and then I can keep going up, or making YouTube videos. I got to find out what the trend is, so then I can make the videos, and then people will like that, and then I can get ads or sell courses, whatever. When the predominantly the world is fake, meaning their motives aren't pure, there's a lack of authenticity, then that means you probably have to follow that suit if you want to get up in the world, because that's the frequency of the world. And so if you want material gains and successes and all that, then you're gonna have to play that role. Unless you're really dedicated and devoted to truth, then God will carve out a niche and role for you, and you don't have to worry about it. But you have to really be dedicated. It has to be, you can't even help it. It's not a choice. It's not like, all right, I'm gonna try this authenticity thing. No. You can't, like, that's it. Like, okay, kill me. If I can't be authentic, kill me. Like, I don't know what to say. I can't do it. Okay. When you have that level of intestinal fortitude in regards to spiritual principles, let the universe take care of you. And you keep renewing that faith every day. Don't look for results. Like, where I don't see any money. Is he sure it's taking care of me? You see, that's your test. You have to trust that this is how you can trust somebody. This is the only way you can trust somebody, is what I'm going to say now. When they're living their life according to God's laws, inner sanction, not trying to please you. If let's bring it back to the movie, they do better. They can give, that will be a better, I'll do more justice, give an example of that movie than trying to think of something. But I don't know the name of the movie now. Damn it. All right. Oh, almost. You guys will know, though, when I start talking about it. Paradise somewhere. Something about paradise. And what's the guy's name? I like him. But there's the two actors, Joaquin Phoenix and can't remember. They go to Malaysia and they buy a bunch of hash. And then Joaquin Phoenix stayed there while his friend left, because I don't remember why. Police got him. Yeah, those of you in Asia, careful with drugs, they'll kill you. So they were getting ready to kill Joaquin Phoenix, and then his friend found out about it through his sister, Joaquin Phoenix's sister. And then he went back to help him. He thought if he went back and testified on his behalf, like said, look, I'm part of it too, man. Like, we did some, sorry, we did some stupid things. Can you please not, like, kill my friend? Okay, I won't say what happened after that. Go see it. All right, because it doesn't matter what happened after that. That's not the point. The point is, he went back, all right? Why did he go back? Because his sister was, like, seducing him and said, I'll give you a little something if you, like, go back? That ain't why he went back. Did he go back because like, Joaquin Phoenix was, he, like, owed him something? He's like, okay, Joaquin Phoenix, like, saved me. I was getting beat up by a bully 10 years ago, and he, like, beat him, so now I'm gonna go. No, that ain't why. Why did he go back? He went back because he had to go back. If he didn't go back, regardless of what the consequences are that he got, and he got some, regardless of that, he had to go back because he had to go back. He just had to go back. It's like the other movie. There's just too many movies. The guy goes to Iraq. I almost have it. He goes to Iraq with that they're fighting in the Iraq war, and he has the Iraqi translator with him. and he got shot. The Iraqi translator like saved his life. Like was like he couldn't move, and he's pulling him on this sled and got him all the way back to safety. There's no way he would have made it if the translator didn't do that for him. So the guy goes home to America. Oh, everything's good now. The Iraqi translator is like in Iraq, and all the Muslims are hunting for him because they found out he was a traitor. He helped the American. This guy that went back to the Covenant. See, I remember the Covenant. I know I've mentioned these before, but they fit now. So, like, yeah, there you go. They're just really good examples. So he started drinking, trying to drown these feelings because his inner sanction he has, like, the guy saved it, like he owes him, even if it means him going back and then him getting killed and not seeing his family get, like, doesn't matter. He has to pay. He has to help the person that helped him. All right, those type of beings you can trust. They're not doing it for you. It looks like on surface level they're doing it for you. It looks like he's doing it for the Iraqi guy on surface level, but no, he's doing it because he cannot not do it. He couldn't. He would be murdered inside, a slow, grueling death, if he didn't go back and help him. That's why he's doing it. Those people you can trust. You don't have to worry about it. You can leave all your money on the table and go out, and they're not going to take it. Why? Because of that inner principle. Those people you can trust. They can't play small. When those principles are activated in you, you can't play small. You just can't do it. It just doesn't matter the consequences, because the consequences would be worse if you play small, or if you compromise yourself to try to preserve this, your money or your body or whatever. Like, it's that pales in comparison to the inner price you're going to pay by not living in alignment as the universe dictates to you and through you. All right? Most people aren't like that. I'm talking to those who are like that, or who it does something to you when you hear these words. Maybe not. You may have these principles, but they're not totally awake in you yet, but they're ready to be, they're a little dormant. Yeah, this message is for you too. Most people, it's totally asleep. They don't even know what we're talking about right now. I wish the algorithm I want it to get to the level where it knows. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? It'll size up my message, and then it'll know, okay, this person's be good. Okay, this person.
If you want to put yourself out there, but you have the fear of being seen, this is a friendly reminder. It is safe to be seen. It is good to be seen. The world wants to know what you have to say. It wants to see you. It wants to hear you. It wants to know your heart and your mind. And your people are out there waiting to learn from you, to hear from you, to connect with you. It might feel scary. It might feel like it's not safe, but I promise you, if you just keep showing up every single day with courage and authenticity, the rewards will be immense.
Who do you become when you stop playing small? Hey, I'm Tiffany, your guide to exploring inner growth and transformation. So excited to have you here. Welcome. So most people think that transformation or growth is about getting something new. And there's all these universal laws taking place at work that maybe we're not aware of. And one of them is the law of sacrifice. I don't know why I'm so drawn to the law of sacrifice. Maybe it's because it motivates me so much. It's the idea that you have to give up something of lesser value to gain something of greater value. So I'm going to share my personal story, and maybe you can relate to this, or you have a different personal story. Captain Obvious, that's what personal is. About what it means to stop playing small, the law of sacrifice in action for me. So one of the things, and I've talked about this in other videos, is that we often have a hard time stepping into a new version of ourselves because it means letting go a past version of ourselves. And that past version has protected us from something. That past version has been an unhealthy coping mechanism. That past version just no longer fits our lives. So, my personal story, I struggled in school hardcore. I remember being in a special reading class when I was in third grade. And once I got to that reading class, man, it took off. I was reading like crazy. I still love to read to this day. I barely graduated high school. Like, I mean, by the seat of my pants only, and I got a GED in high school, not an actual high school diploma, because I just came in, did some modules, and then I graduated. But that's also how I did all of my college education, was completely online, and to do these modules and to write these papers and to do the things, and easy peasy. That's how my brain works. But for a long time, stupid's a heavy word, but I felt really like I was stupid. I couldn't accomplish anything. I went and I got my associate's degree in human service management, like, whatever, doesn't mean anything. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I was like, doesn't mean anything. I was working at a chicken factory at that time. Went back for my master's degree in mental health counseling. It never celebrated, didn't go to the graduation. Started my doctorate degree. I was like, well, fuck it. If I'm this far in debt with student loans, I've always wanted to be Dr. Tiffy just for the sake of being Dr. Tiffy, because nobody thought that I could do anything. The hard part is I've never acknowledged these versions of myself as they're taking place. They've just been a checkbox along the way. This is the next thing I have to do, the next thing I have to do. I really excelled at college, probably because it was something that I wanted to do, something that I felt passionate about. So the idea of stepping into the next version of myself, the law of sacrifice, which is giving up something of lesser value for greater value, I held on to that narrative for a really long time that I was stupid. Like, I just was incapable of whatever. Even as I was graduating and doing all these things, I think it was like I was 37 or 38 when I finally got diagnosed with ADHD. Like, I had always known that there was something there, just didn't know the extent of it. And the diagnosis didn't change a whole lot, except for I can go get medication if I really want medication. But I typically am not medicated. Which kind of explains a lot of the struggles in school. I couldn't pay attention in a classroom when there was a bunch of kids. But that narrative started back when I was in third grade. I am 43, y'all. Third grade's a long time ago. And I have spent almost all of my life up until my 30s when I got diagnosed, like, still thinking I was dumb. On some level, like, I just didn't feel intellectual in any way, shape, or form. And so I was holding on to that narrative. Oh, this is important to the story. I was holding on to that narrative. And the reason that I was holding on to it is because I didn't have to show up. Nobody expected shit of me. I could do the bare minimum in my life and be like, look, here's the bare minimum. I don't need to do anything great or grand. Nobody had expectations of me. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to achieve anything great. But if you listen to my story, it's been all about achievement, right? It's been the next degree, the next degree, the next this, the next that. And deep down, I was trying to prove something to myself, but I was holding on to a narrative. I was doing this to further my life, but still holding on to this narrative of not needing to show up, which I can say in coaching was drastically, like, that's part of what it was, is not wanting to show up in front of other people. Although as a therapist, I show up in front of other people every single day, at least 6 hours a day when I work, 4 days a week or whatever it is, right? But we develop those narratives of ourselves at a very young age. And for you, as an individual, what you need to find out is, what is the purpose of that narrative that you're holding on to in your life? that's not allowing you to step into this next version of yourself, whether it's being a people pleaser or something in relationship where you want to please your partner. I guess that's people pleasing. Success, like me, finances, wanting to be more financially wealthy, but you keep yourself stuck in a cycle of debt to not ever get to that place. We all have narratives, and typically they run very deep. I'm talking childhood, primary caregivers, all of the things. We have narratives of ourselves that other people have told us, and we haven't ever listened. Like, we've never questioned that. And I'm rambling, but I hope you get my point. I don't want this to be hour long. It's already 7 minutes. Yeah, it's figure out the narrative, how deep it runs, and why you're preventing yourself from stepping into the next version of yourself. And so, wrapping this back to plant medicine real quick, one of the major benefits of doing a plant ceremony, which only lasts about 15 minutes to a half an hour, is that in non-ordinary states of consciousness, you lower your ego defenses enough to be aware of what the patterns are, or aware of what's going on, or aware of a deeper connection to something in the universe outside of you. And then through integration, the facilitation, and then through integration, which is the piece that me and my partner do, you have an action plan and accountability through a private Facebook group to do all of the things, to say, like, this is what I noticed, this is what I was stuck on, this is what I want to do. And then I say, here's how you do that. So if you are ready to stop or to step into the next version of yourself, drop the word evolve in the comments and let's have a conversation. As always, go download the free guide and have a good one.
Here's a Monday motivation for women. It's about to shift you, okay? Well-behaved women rarely make history. Women who play by the rules won't really get anywhere. How'd you feel? Did you feel that? Do not play small. Be chaos. Say what you're going to say and mean what you say, okay? We have to shake this shit up. You hear me? It's 2025 and the energy is intense. We can all feel it. So it's time to stop playing small. Be chaos. I hope that helps somebody. Happy Monday, ladies.
Your purpose is too big for you to be playing so small. Yeah, I said it. Your purpose is too big for you to be playing so small. You out here in this rat race of life with this big purpose that's been demanded on you and what you've been created to do. But instead, guess what you're doing? You over here looking like everybody else, doing what everybody else is doing, hanging out on the weekends, getting into relationships just to say you're in a relationship or you're married. But your purpose is too big for you to be playing so small. And one of the biggest things I will share with you right now, what you can be doing because you understand and realize that your purpose is too big for you to be playing so small. Get around people that are playing bigger. Get around people that are doing things differently. Get around people that are playing for the long game and not the quick microwave life. Your purpose is too big for you to play so small.
You know, I had some trepidation making this message because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, this is not true. You're just saying that. But I'm telling you, there is someone who is so obsessed with your fine, you know what? They are going to break so many hearts that want them. And one person in particular really, really wants them. And they're about to be tremendously heartbroken for you. There is someone that is eliminating all of their options for you. And I'm telling you right now, whatever it is that you do, whoever you are, it is not so much just the physical that this person likes, because they do love, I did that with my hands, huh? Beyond the physical, this person is in love with your soul. They love your soul. The song of your heart is a song that they hear very clearly, loud and clear, and probably for the first and only time ever. They were like, I just got an interruption while I was saying this message. I was like, you know what? There are going to be so many people that, like I said, that they really like compete for this person's attention. And I mean, they try really freaking hard, but they only feel this completion and love and wholeness with you. Sorry, my dog's hair. Yes. 143, by the way, which is the I love you on the beeper. If anybody had a beeper back in the day, that was the vibe. This is your person. This is your divine counterpart. They love you for your unorthodox, weirdo ways. You're very unique. You're very unique. You are a person that could as well have a lot of options. And you know what? One thing that you have never done, though, despite all of this, is give up on yourself. And this person is hoping in their heart that you will not walk away from them. This person is in love with you. All right, this is insane. This person is in love with you. I really hope that this thing got recorded, 222. They want to come and give you equal give and take. This person, it wants to give everything that you've given to them emotionally, spiritually, whatever that is. They want to give that to you. This person is currently making a decision in their lives. They're going to come towards you. And things are going to get better. They're currently watching you super heavily. Someone could have had a very difficult ending, a marriage that ended, a divorce, something very expensive. But karma is coming in. They know you. They know you're the shiznit. You've got a strong cutoff game. You've been feeling sadsies too, but this person is coming in and to give you the love you deserve.
Stop playing it small. You keep playing it small because you have this upper limit, right? And so a lot of us, if you're in survival mode constantly, your upper limit is very low, right? And so you don't have that tolerance for successful and amazing things to come into your life. And so what you have to do is you really have to like punch into that upper limit and basically let your body feel safe receiving good things, right? Because you're so wired to only have bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happen. You have to rewire your subconscious mind to realize that it's okay to have good things happen to you, right? Sometimes our nervous systems will play tricks on us, and because the nervous system is in this familiar hell of bad things always happen to me and just like in the survival mode, sometimes it doesn't want to get out of survival mode because it feels comfortable there because it's been there for so long. And so being able to regulate your nervous system, being able to get back into the present moment, being able to catch yourself when you hear those limiting beliefs, all of those things are really going to help you stop playing small and live out to your fullest potential.
If you are a girl who's been told your whole life, like, oh, you look mean when I first met you, or I thought you were going to be bitchy when I first met you, or you didn't look like a nice person, or I thought you didn't like me, and you've not done anything, and this is all solely based on your physical appearance, let people think what they want to think. You don't have to be nice first. You don't have to make conversation first. You don't have to dumb yourself down or be funny or dim your light just so people find you less threatening. I promise you the world will go on and they will get over it.
If you're a highly intelligent individual and you're tired of playing small in your life, I have a couple of tips that might help you. First of all, you need to understand what it is that you want. If you don't know what you want, you can't really take any intentional steps towards those dreams. The next thing you need to do is understand the hidden motivators for your behavior. You need to understand what kind of beliefs are behind your behavior. Maybe you're not taking action towards your dreams. Maybe you're not just advancing as you would like to be, even though you possibly could. So this is the starting point. You need to understand your hidden motivators and also those hidden beliefs that might be hindering your path to success. Once you understand these two things and your starting point, you can start to strategize and take those steps towards those dreams and living your full potential.